Good evening, every pony, and welcome to Commentary as Magic Stream on today, Sunday, October 17th, 2021. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big cheese?
Aracat.
You
Wait.
are not, you liar!
R is traveling. So in
R
his
was-
place, you have me twice.
Ivory Starlight and Ivory Starlight.
Yes.
You
There
just have
we
to
go.
talk twice as much now.
I'll consider it.
Ara was so excited to get to Ciderfest, he left early.
Is he? He is in somewhere in that region. Somewhere off the west coast in one of those flyover states.
Nah, he headed west from the west coast. He's just out in the Pacific right now. Collecting all the salt.
I mean, if he really wants salt, he needs to go to the Atlantic.
That's true. If only there were pony cons on the East Coast again, rip.
We should have a PonyCon on a houseboat in the middle of the Dead Sea and call it SaltCon.
Still beats holding a con in Baltimore.
I mean, yeah. Everything about Baltimore is not convention friendly, and yet there's conventions there all the time. Ask me how much sense that makes.
How much
you
sense
wanna
does
know-
that make?
Absolutely none, but you want to know where there is a good place to have a convention?
Milwaukee?
Yeah,
Nice segue.
I try
like-
sometimes.
I like it. It was good. Yeah, it is Milwaukee. Ponyville Ciderfest. In person.
With a con schedule.
That only took, until the last 5 days to come out. But
Hey,
hey,
it's before the week of. That's all that matters.
and you know what? I'll give them credit. The reason they said it was taking so long is because they wanted to be sure they could get the schedule printed and updated in the con books. And so they were prioritizing the print schedule ahead of the digital one. So thank you for at least making sure we have that ready and available in the con books.
Con books are a lie.
Half the con books were a lie at Everfree, but whatever. Anyway, it is Ciderfest, and that of course means more CCG tournaments. Except this time it means CCG tournaments that we don't have to run.
Yay? Question mark.
I mean, it's not like we haven't found other stuff to keep us busy.
No, we only run CCG tournaments. There's nothing else we do.
I
See,
mean, that's kind of true.
You say that joking, but that's kind of what it came down to. And we decided we wanted a break. So instead, we're going to go play in CCG tournaments instead. And then also hold this other thing called, design a card. But we'll talk about that panel later. For now, it is tradition that the stream before the convention, we talk about what we're planning on playing. And we've got 2 formats this time around, both Core and Harmony. So I think we can just go ahead and dive in here and take a look and see, for those of us who will be playing in the tournaments, or if we were to play in the tournaments, if we're going to have a schedule conflict, what would we run?
Sure. Wanna look at
All-
the first deck? Well, so
all
we're
of
first
us
we're
are-
gonna talk about Harmony? Yes.
Go ahead, Ivory.
I was gonna say we're all just running a nice, calm, ordinary day next format.
We are most certainly not doing that. This is an unholy abomination of deck lists that have been put together here.
One of them is. Both of them are.
All
Three
of
of
them
them are.
are.
All of them are. Hey, look, I know what this deck does. So do you, Ivory.
Has no
I have-
friends, can't win.
I have never seen this deck in my life. Who likes starting face-offs?
I hope-
Hopefully your opponent.
I hope everyone raised their hand. And if you didn't, too bad. We're going to make you do it anyway.
By remembering Twilight's Epiphany's first mode and moving you to a problem that happens to have Lord Tyrek at it.
Bugle says this deck is all about playing the one copy of Living to Laugh main phase and then drawing your entire deck main phase. You know what? it worked with Legacy Leech. It might still work without it. Maybe, probably not.
It depends on how slow your opponent is taking to win. Yeah, that's gonna depend on how slow your
I
opponent's
feel
taking
like
to win.
this deck is 10x better with Legacy Leech.
It is better at going off without needing to have the opponent start a face-off with Legacy Leech. But if you're actually in a face-off, there's already too much AT generation in here.
Yeah, this kind of just, if you have the cards you need in hand when that face-off starts, it's very difficult to lock yourself out of winning at that point.
The basic gist of it is you're going to get a Lord Tyrek into play, face up at a problem where your opponent has at least one character, or your opponent's just going to start a face-off anyway, which you'll love. And assuming you have played a colorless event, you can have boosted your Trixie, which is great, because as soon as the opponent starts a face-off, you're paying one less for all your events until the end of the face-off. You then play a Sonic Rainboom, so you can play main phase events at immediate speed, and proceed to draw your entire deck, disrupt any nasty pieces they may have on board, and then play your one copy of Living to Laugh along with your one copy of Spontaneous Song and Dance, and any other event to draw the last card in your deck to win. There are a lot of singleton cards in here. We have one copy of The Vote. We have one copy of Under the Wire. We have one copy of Living to Laugh, one copy of Spontaneous Song and Dance, and one copy of Juggling Routine.
What are your
And-
feelings about Starlight?
And one copy of Special Beam Cannon.
Ah, yes. And the same day as well. What are our feelings about Starlight? It's fine. She'll never hit.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. She'll never hit, probably.
I'm assuming you're talking about Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one runs that card, do they?
No.
No, definitely not.
Especially no one here.
Right. So both Ivory and I have decided that we're going to play Trixie combo. In honor of our good friend Hithrock, who would probably play Trixie combo if he could.
Or something with a Trixie card in it.
Trixie.deck.
So, now that we can see all the fun the two of us are going to have, let's look at all the fun that the Fun Killer's going to have.
Yeah.
Boo!
So you know that scene in Yu-Gi-Oh where Weevil's like, "You should let me see those Exodia cards," and then he just throws them off the boat on their way to Pegasus's
Kingdom.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be me when I grab Cheese's deck and we're like on some random part of Milwaukee.
Yeah. I would probably be okay with that as well, because this deck is just
Fun?
For the person running it, maybe.
As someone who spent over an hour and a half in a high stakes tournament playing this single game,
That was an interesting game.
it was an interesting game because there was interaction that was going on. You know where there's not going to be interaction here? With Trixie combo.
Not much.
Yeah, it's, oh, you got the Chrono Trigger down? Cool, GG.
I think for future tournaments, we're going to require Cheese to submit his deck list first, and then Ivory and I can submit ours.
I mean, I knew he was gonna run something that it was either gonna be this or some pink-white version. Like, I didn't even care at that point.
Diamond asked how long that round was. The round was 2 hours and 38 minutes total. That game was over an hour 30.
Yeah, that game. It was game 3.
Yeah, you guys
This was
went into
the-
that with an hour 45 left on the clock.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
the invitational. I think it was who was commentating. Bugle and I were commentating.
Do you want to talk about this thing, this mess?
This
you
massive
have up
change.
here?
Yeah, so this is the same deck running in adventure format. There's just one change, dropping a Frozen Magicite for an Ursa Vanquisher. Just, to make it actually Harmony.
Isn't there another change as
Nope.
well?
Well, it
you
has
sure?
Mistmains instead of Seihezas, but
Yeah, because Mistmain is probably better here than.
yeah, it's way better. But
when you're not restricted to running copies of cards because of the tournament rules, then
yeah, and so this deck works pretty well.
that's
It
that's the summary you're going to give it. Yeah, it's okay. It works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, like, it just tells the opponent they can't do anything. I mean, they can try, but it just tries to counter everything that everyone else is doing.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. The more I play with School Shutdown in just about any format, the more I want to keep playing with School Shutdown in just about any format. That card is actually really good.
It is. It's better when you have bodyguards, but, can't put that on every deck.
I mean, you could. They just might not be good in every deck.
Beagle says no Destiny Drain. I was also curious about that.
Hey, I still have 5 cards to play with.
That's true. He can run a Destiny Drain if he can, or if he wants to. What would you drop for a Destiny Drain?
Probably the other Frozen. I don't think there's going to be a lot of farm. And, like, you have Bailout and Heatwave and, what is that? Sudden Closure. No, Sudden Closure. I mean, and Barrel Through. But, like, farm already has an uphill battle against this deck.
That's a fair point. And the Legion, if you can stick it.
Yeah. That's hard against farm generally because they're running Grogar, but...
And someone might sit there and say, but then you don't have any Chaos Disruptive effects for farm. Wrong. Mysterious Disappearance.
If the farm deck is relying on stick.
If the farm deck is relying on any number of resources, which just about every farm deck does.
Yeah.
Stick,
we need to go...
Shield, Spooky Ruins, Pirate Ship.
We need to go back to the days where things were better and we could just put Big Mac on top of our deck, flip that, have Ambassador of Loyalty.
And just be happy with that.
I mean, I was happy with that.
Nope, not good enough. Now you just get wrecked because Ambassador never actually readies. She gets bailed out and heat waved every single time. Oh, Lord. All right, so that's Harmony, the one format that I'll probably be playing in. We want to take a look at...
Core!
Core? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll explain the reason why Ara isn't showing his Harmony deck here.
This is 2 decks.
I mean, or we could skip right to this.
Sure, we can go to that.
We'll get to Ara's Harmony deck later.
Hey, look, it's more combo.
Yeah, but this combo does more.
It plays aggro.
It can play aggro.
It really can.
It also disrupts, like, a lot of the opponent's friends. Like, a lot of them. 2 Griseldas, 3 Spitfires, if you want to play them, 3 Stop Fightings, 3 Belly Flops. But why would you do that when you can just play 2 Gabbies and then draw, like, 7 cards, and then draw, like, 9 cards?
Yeah, the ending for like, if you get 2 Gabbies down and actually get a Confront through, that's, like, game?
It's pretty darn close. And Skystar giving you 7 pink Unity when you need it most is just so valuable. Plus, with Party Science, you can flip Skystar turn 2 and then play a Living to Laugh turn 2 as well, and just start the card draw train
Best
rolling.
opening.
Is a pretty good opening. Either that or the Gilda. I also like playing Gilda early, and then holding onto a Griselda.
Yeah, Gilda's fine too.
Well, it's funny, because if your opponent's playing a Confront to flip main, and they're planning on doing it with a 2-cost friend, you can go, okay, I flip Skystar and I put 2 tokens here, and then I play Gilda for 1 AT, and I have 1 AT left over. And I'll confront. Your opponent's like, okay, I move up my main and I play a 2 power or a 2 cost friend. They're not going to belly flop. They wouldn't belly flop one of these tokens already. And you're like, you're right, I wouldn't. Instead, I'm going to play this 3 cost friend for 1 AT and dismiss your friend.
I mean, seems fine to me.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Living to I just realized both of the decks we're playing are Living to Laugh.
I mean, yeah.
Technically.
She's a good card.
Well, look at the next deck.
Sure.
Big things.
You sure this isn't GP's list?
Yes, this is my list.
This is your list.
This is his list. He's still running Aurora Borealis.
Yep.
And something else. I don't remember what else.
This is the
Zesty
Gourmand. This is the exact list from the Invitationals.
and Continentals.
No, this one's different from Continentals.
Yeah, it's
Slightly.
a little different.
What?
There
I
was some.
haven't seen the Continentals list in a while. What changed?
There's a Legion instead of a Pony of Shadows. There's
It's not very different.
that's
I forget what they are.
There's a Smolder and Sandbar in there, and I don't think there was. Well, no, there was one copy. That might actually be it. It might just be the Troublemaker swap.
I think it's still a good deck.
It is still a good deck. All of those Tricorns are very irritating. And that school shut down. Not a fan.
Shut down the school.
Don't shut down my school. How else are the Burbs supposed to learn?
They're not allowed to learn. That's why they're gonna invade during episode 1 of the G5 series.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we have a leaked script. The Griffins are gonna attack the ponies. What was it? Maritime Bay, I think it was called.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what was it? Hitch Trailblazers, the Burbs.
Clearly, they need to hire fandom writers as official show writers. We have great ideas.
A worse statement has never been uttered.
It's okay.
Diamond says
will go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Diamond says, not going to lie, this feels a little bit weird without Aura's sitting angry energy. Oh, don't worry. He's got the angry energy from all the way across the country. Also, Bing Bong.
Hey, Ara's always trying to keep me contained, and he can't do it this time. So here I am for all to see.
Okay, so we've looked at Ivory and my lists, and we've seen Cheese's list. Does anyone want to take a wild guess as to what Aracat might be playing in Core and or Harmony?
I'm gonna wait until someone guesses.
One pace.
Not legal.
One shot.
None of
Also not
them
legal.
are legal.
Screw shot.
We don't
Still not
have
legal.
Twilight.
You don't need Twilight.
Diamond says Hiss. No.
There are no Thoraxes in this list.
Not even in the problems?
There are 0 changelings in this list.
Ah, so that's why he's so attached to it.
Or they could all be changelings, either way.
But they're not changelings.
There's really 0. Yeah, there's 0. Not even in any art. There is a Trixie.
Any other guesses from the Peanut Gallery? No Hissy Queen.
I mean,
Correct.
I could keep going down the combo lists, but we all know.
Random Fish. Yep, Prism Light got it.
There you go.
It is indeed random fish.
Here's your random fish.
So he did say, I don't know what he plans on swapping out for them, but in Harmony, I believe he plans on running Sonata Dusk in place of something.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, I guess he'll decide at the event. But I think that's the only thing that changes between Harmony and Core with Mosh Pit Unchained.
Now, he did leave a note here as well, because some of you may have noticed that this deck is using the Pinky Having a Blast main. And you might ask yourself, wait, how's that going to work? Nobody has a physical copy of Having the Blast, so Aura can't play the deck? Well, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news. The good news is we're going to be bringing a handful of copies of Having a Blast to Ciderfest. So if you're there at the con, you can come by and find us, and we can hook you up with a copy. There are also some Having a Blasts that are in one of the 3 starter decks that we will have at the table in the vendor hall. The bad news is that Aura now has a physical copy, and Pinky is going full bore with the, as he phrases it, partillery.
I
Partillery.
genuinely hate that he typed that in a document, but I guess I shouldn't be too surprised.
So, duck and cover, the party is coming.
Quack.
Quack. There's no rainbow shine here. What are you talking about?
True.
Okay.
More rainbow shines.
While we kind of highlight some of the other stuff that will be going on at Ciderfest, if anyone here in chat is planning on attending, or even if you're not and you know what you'd be running, it would be interesting to see you link your decks in the chat so we can talk about them real fast. We may not be able to bring them up on stream, but it would be interesting to look at.
It's pretty fast to do that.
Diamond asks, will there be a way to get copies of Having a Blast outside of Ciderfest, since she unfortunately won't be able to be there?
We will have copies of Having a Blast available for just about any con that we're going to be at. We'll make sure we bring some with us. You could also have a friendly contact there at Ciderfest pick up a starter deck for you, or just pick up an extra copy of Having a Blast. Do that.
Yeah, I think the other way is going to be when set 13 comes out. When you get it printed, you could have added in there.
Oh, yeah. That would also work.
I think there's enough slots.
It's real tight. We'll see. Well, so apart from the Having a Blast, there are some other promos that we've been sitting on for a while. It's almost like we couldn't attend a lot of in-person conventions over the last year and kind of had to hold on to them for a bit. Rip.
I mean, I was there. I was confused as to why no one else was, like, at all.
Just showed up in the hotel.
Yeah, and the hotel staff were like, what are you talking about? There's no pony people here.
So, Cheese, what promos are we going to dust off and break out for the first time?
Ta-da! First one is Honor a Yak.
I'm actually really glad we got this one printed as a promo, because this card has seen a lot of play recently.
It has. Like, it's actually a good card even outside of Living Class combo.
Sure.
Pink, likes spending cards.
Mosh Pit likes this card. Hot Wings likes this card. Bugle says Rainbow Dash is photo bombing.
She looks a little like... God, what's the
She has
term?
One of those nervous smiles.
Oh, like, I'm happy for you, but really?
Like, I can't believe I'm friends with this pony.
Yeah.
Pinky's manic energy can get intense.
Yes.
So that's one. How about another?
A little bundle of evil. I kind of forgot this was even a card.
This would actually make for some interesting sideboard tech against Reanimator if you are playing a white deck and either going hard aggro to try to get to 8 points quickly, or are playing harder control and trust the opponent's going to get to 8 points faster. And then you just steal one of their duplicate tricorns out of their discard pile and kind of laugh.
Laugh all the way home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we already know that steal effects are useful in Reanimator matchups. That's why that one copy of Zesty is there.
Yeah.
So those will be fun. Hey, you know that purple, orange, white deck that Cheese is running in Harmony that looked really, 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 really similar to that adventure deck that he's running?
No.
Have you? Yeah, yes. Yes, you do. Well, if you've ever wanted an opportunity to play a deck just as toxic as that one, boy, do we have the solution for you. Why is this a good pitch again? Ivory, why are you letting me do this?
Because I'm chaotic evil and no one knew about it until now.
Non-detection is a good spell. So we are running Adventure Online Constructed, ADCO, and signups are still open right now. We have a link we can post in the sidebar here. But we are just waiting for the full 8, and it is an open field, to say the least. It's a format that has only recently been established. There's a lot going on. We've seen a lot of different archetypes, aggro, farm, combo, control. Basically, everything's there. So if you have an idea of a deck and you'd like to see if it works, or you have an idea of a deck and you know that it works and you just want to go in there and thrash all of us who are playing, go ahead and sign up at the link we've got there in the sidebar.
Which I just put there.
Thank you. Now, we mentioned that at Ciderfest, the tournaments, we're actually not going to be running this time. Those are being put on by Joking Luna. So thank you, Joking Luna, for your hard work and effort in getting these things set up.
Running a tournament isn't as easy as if you've never done it before.
It is challenging. Keeping to the schedule, keeping stuff organized, getting results input and new rounds out quickly, being able to answer rules questions, all of it. Collecting and saving deck lists, reporting it afterwards. There's a lot to do. And that's why we're very grateful that he is taking the lead here at this particular con. It also gives us the opportunity to try something fun, something exciting, something that we have never done before. And that is a design a card panel. We're going to be hosting this at 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Friday in the Caramel Room at the con. And it's going to give anyone in attendance, and potentially anyone watching on Twitch, an opportunity to help design one or two future cards for an expansion for this game. They won't come out in set 13, but they will come out in a future expansion. We'll talk a little bit about how set design works, the types of design, like top-down versus bottom-up, and how to balance set design with the print and play format that we play in right now. But I know the Diamond Song is already sitting there ready to just yell Yona main at the top of her lungs. And I'm still waiting.
She's
And
saving her energy for the actual event.
there you go. So it's going to be a great chance to make a lasting impact on this game. We hope that many people will be able to attend. We'll have more information about how that's going to work with the stream later this week. We will also be sharing a booth with our good friend Silver Quill in the vendor hall, where we will have some sealed product and some of the new starter decks available if people have not had the opportunity to pick up certain cards, either from previously printed sets, or if you are a new player or have a new player friend and would like to give them something as far as a physical deck goes that can get them started with the game. We may have even managed to rustle up some of the MLP Ultra Pro card sleeves. I'm not saying they're the last ones on the planet, but I'll heavily imply it. I know we have Yona main at home, but we also don't have Yona main at home, GP.
I want a Yona main.
Well, you should attend the design a card panel then.
I would hope he's attending the design a card panel.
No, I have a conflict.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Don't be upset when all of your stream equipment's broken when you get back then.
What would a sandbar main even do? Nothing. It would do nothing.
Surf a wave or something, I don't know.
Nearly drop his hearts-forming doll into the fireplace. Give people cupcakes. Well, see, here you go. Here's 3 good ideas on a sandbar main already. So now there's just no room to do a Yona main. We have to do the sandbar main now. Anyway, before Diamond kills me here.
She'll have plenty of time to do that during the actual panel.
Exactly. I think we are basically done with the announcements and summary of the con here for this evening. So we'd like to give a big shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. If you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy what we do, consider donating. Doing so does enable us to continue making content like this and lets you earn some great perks as a bonus. If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way, feel free to reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, or email. If you're a patron, you can also chat live with us on Slack any day, anytime, because weekends are for destroying sleep schedules, or what little semblance of that exists.
They really are. Even if you don't intend to do that, it just happens anyway.
I took a 4-hour nap yesterday. I'm pretty certain that's just called sleeping.
Nah.
I mean, sometimes I get that little.
Yeah, like when we go to cons, because you stay up till 3 a.m.
Now we're old now. We
Yeah,
go to bed
okay.
early.
No. We were up until like 2:30 in the morning at Everfree, and that was only 2 months ago.
Yeah, and got up at like 10.
It was terrible.
It was
only
fine.
7.5 hours.
That's an hour and a half more than required for a con.
It's true. But we've also gotten less than 5 hours at cons before, and I hate my life for the first half of the next day.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right.
The
Anyway.
weak sleeping people.
Yes, true. I like my slip. Finally, if you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel, linked just below the stream. With all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary as Magic. I am, as always, Grand Pause.
Big cheese.
I'm Ivory Starlight, and over there is Aracat, ready to yell at me.
And I'll see you at Ciderfest in my Nick cosplay.
I'll see
He
you
is-
at Ciderfest in my me cosplay.
Cheese.
I don't cosplay.
Everyone, bring your cheese OCs to the Design a Card panel.
Yes, please. Bye.
Bye.